Tonight on CTV, well, there's no proper. Hello and welcome to CTV News. I'm Marlo, Lundak.
And I'm Amelia, Casteneda, and here's your Thursday news. Ellsworth Hall, the hall on the south side of campus that is home to miscellaneous classes and offices, may be torn down. The hall was originally built as a residence hall in 1950, but since has been transformed over the years. Fred Heberleck, the university master planner for facilities management, explains, Ellsworth was built as a residence hall, but hasn't been a residence hall for over 25 years. The building has other issues, but is strategically located in a spot that is part of a greater housing complex. While there are no official plans yet, the spot is being considered for a new residence hall.
President Trump signed an executive order today to roll back the contraceptive coverage mandate issued by the Obama administration under the Affordable Care Act. This mandate removed the cost of birth control for women. Rollback on birth control, employers now have the freedom to incorporate their religious and moral views when deciding the healthcare coverage of their employees. And students involved in more conservative political groups on campus commented on the new policy.
I think this gives us more freedom, and it gives businesses more freedom. And if employers decide to ban or choose insurance that does not cover birth control, then the market will balance itself. Maybe employees will go work for someone else. And at the end of the day, it balances out and gives us more freedom.
We do think that everybody should have access to those things, and women deserve those products, but at the same time, a product or service isn't guaranteed by anyone from the government or insurance.
So if you're talking about, let's say, should they cover birth control or not? Some companies that want to, they let them. And those who don't want to because of their religious beliefs, then they shouldn't have to.
Advocates for free access to birth control also commented on the mandate.
We at the center view it as a rollback. It's a removal of agency for folks, specifically marginalized folks, to seek access to agency over their bodies.
It's an attack on reproductive rights under, this mask of, religious freedom, but that's exactly it. It's not a separation of church and state. They're making these policies based around a religious exemption.
This is much more than an attack on women. This is an attack potentially on minoritized populations like trans and gender nonconforming folks. It's a class issue. There's folks who need access to these that are not cisgender women. And so I think thinking about holistically what folks are losing access to, it goes further than contraception for preventing pregnancy.
College women across the United States are worried that their university's health insurance may drop access to contraceptives. Although it is unclear if Colorado State will be affected by this rollback, students like Katie Rochat from the University of Notre Dame say college women don't always have a disposable income to afford birth control on their own. Rochat says, I respect my university's adherence to Catholicism, but I also think that no woman should have to choose between her serious medical needs and her university's religion. The mandate under the ACA made contraceptives more affordable and accessible than ever, and saved women over $1.4 billion in the first year alone. This is one of President Trump's first steps in repealing Obamacare. If you have any questions about how this mandate may affect you, you can visit www.wgac.colostate.edu.
Defend Our Future had an event this weekend, and we have our live correspondent, Amelia here in the studio to talk about it.
Defend Our Future is an organization that works to educate young people about climate change and clean energy solutions. Defend Our Future plans and executes on-campus and community events that promote taking action on climate change. They engage students on campus, sparking dialogue about the importance of contacting elected leaders regarding policy reform. One of their most recent events was a showing of the film Rancher, Farmer, Fisherman. The documentary highlighted conservationists on the front line of American heartland and provided a clear understanding of how ranchers, farmers, and fishermen stood up to protect America's food supply. If this is something that interests you, Defend Our Future is always looking for new interns. For more information, you can visit defendourfuture.org.
During last night's Senate meeting, ASCSU's impeachment committee extended their evidence gathering for another week. Various initiatives were presented, including one from President Josh Silva. His bill, number 4706, regarded supplemental funding and the name change for the Office of Community Affairs. Other topics at the meeting included gender identity, a declaration of support of freedom of speech, approval for a Native American powwow, and the swearing in of new members.
Construction, ACSU tradition, filled the Lori Student Center Plaza with sculptures built out of canned food items Wednesday afternoon. The tradition consists of a friendly competition among various student organizations.
University and community organizations challenged one another to build sculptures out of cans and other donated food items collected from the Cans Around the Oval effort.
Around the Oval is a really great tradition that CSU has had going on for a long time. I think it's really helpful to the community in general to just find ways to benefit lower income communities, and I think it's great that it also brings together so many students from so many different organizations.
Participating organizations began building their sculptures at 10 a.m. on Wednesday.
Bring all of the community together, bring all these cans, having a fun time with it, and then being able to donate it to help benefit the whole entire Fort Collins community.
The goal of the event was to bring awareness to the issue of hunger in the Fort Collins community and also in the university. During the event, judges examined the creativity of every sculpture, and their votes, along with those of CSU students, selected a winner. Slice coordinators began planning for this event since the start of the school year and hope to continue this tradition.
We raise thousands and thousands of pounds each year for our community and for people with food insecurities, which I feel we think is like homeless people or things like that, but are also our students.
Collection Day will take place on October 18th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. During that time, cans will be counted and placed around CSU's Oval. For more information on donations and Collection Day, visit cans.colrostate.edu.
That's all we have for news.
Stay tuned for weather, sports, and entertainment right after this.